Hi, everybody. Welcome to Oviedo's Virtual Park Bench, the show that features all the local businesses and residents of Oviedo. My name is Kelly. I'm a realtor with RedZone Realty Group, and I sponsor a local community website called parkbench.com/Oviedo, which is about all things Oviedo. It talks about news, community events, features businesses and residents, and more. So I hope you'll tune in to the website, and today I'm here to feature the Artistic Hand Gallery and Studio, and I have the pleasure of sitting next to this man, Seaman, who is the owner of it and also a teacher at it. So, Del, I want to thank you for giving me a few minutes of your time. I know you keep a very busy schedule.
Oh, I'm glad to. My busy schedule is from this door to the back door. Running two businesses, being high risk, and not leaving this piece of ground for 5 months. My schedule's spread out. So.
All right, very good. So I do have a cheat sheet here because I have a tendency to ramble. This man can ramble, and so this is to keep us on task.
Ramble on, Led Zeppelin. Oh, I'm sorry, got distracted right there. Right.
All right. So.
Okay.
You are one of the reasons I'm pleased to be here is because I do consider you a mainstay of Oviedo. You have been here a good 30 years. This is a well-known establishment. You are known and loved by all the locals that have been here long term. And so it's a privilege to be here. However, having said that, Oviedo, as you know, has seen a lot of growth in the last couple of years. And there are a lot of newcomers here. And so there may be a lot of new residents who aren't aware of the Artistic Hand. So my first question is, I want you to briefly describe the Artistic Hand Gallery and Studio to our new residents so that they know what you have to offer.
The Artistic Hand Gallery and Studio is actually two different businesses. The gallery part is a retail art and gifts. I represent about 65 different artists. I know everybody in the gallery. They are real people, nothing imported. Some things are made 25 miles away. Some things are made 25 yards away in our studio, and that's business number 2. We have an art studio where we have year-round classes for adults, teens, and kids as young as 5. And many of our current adult students started here as children. I even have one adult student who started here when she was 12 and she just turned 30. So when my late wife, Barbara, and I moved out to Oviedo in 1977, there were 2,000 people in one stoplight. And from the first moment we talked to people in town, we were welcomed. We were young. I was 28, long hair, beard. We had bought some property east of town. We had 5 little kids between us. She had 3, I had 2, we had 5, and we were welcomed into the community. We knew we were home. Now, all these years later, I am realizing a mutual dream that she had independently of me as she started on her education to share art with the public, to do art, and offer a place to do art. We both had the same dream, and when we met each other, we moved forward on that. And 30 years ago, we opened the Artistic Hand with 30 of our friends from the art show, and I'm still here.
Awesome. And you touched on one of the reasons why I sponsor the Oviedo local community website is that the residents and businesses here are so great about supporting each other. It's even though it's grown, it's still very much a small community in the way that we try to take care of each other. So I appreciate you mentioning that. I love my neighbors.
We do, before COVID altered our lives, we would do mutual sales or mutual weekend events between myself and Rob at the Coop and Emma at the My Store and Leanne at the Townhouse and the folks at Santorini's and at Mad Hatters. And we would do events. and it worked really well. My late wife started that in 1990. And it was sort of, you want to do what, where? And we had drive-throughs at the old shopping center. Anyway, I've always been involved in making things better, and so was Barbara, making things better. I was fortunate to be in a family where instead of being asked, like questions of what did you do, what did you learn, whatever, it's like they ask what good things did you do today? And so to me, doing for others was an intricate part of life that I still carry with me.
And that's why you've done so well. All right, so we're going to move on to question 2. Staying on point.
Staying on point. Good luck.
All right. So we do have long-term residents, right, who have known you and loved you for a long time. Can you share any little nugget about yourself or the Artistic Hand that maybe the long-term residents don't know?
Well, I started off my life. My first official job was summer of 1966. I was the swim coach at Sanford Swim Association. I had gone to Florida State, been on the swim team, injured my knees, and had to have reconstructive surgery or give up swimming. So I got a request, would I be interested in being a swim coach? And thus my career of teaching and coaching was realized. I coached at the above ground pool on Lake Monroe, 33 1/3 yards long. Now I'm the art coach. That was good preparation for getting folks to be enthusiastic. If you can get a 9-year-old enthusiastic about jumping in the water and swimming a couple thousand yards on a hot afternoon, you can surely get people excited about working on clay and air conditioning.
And I used to be on a swim team, and my struggle was getting up at 6 in the morning in the dark hour to get in that pool. So yes, if you can motivate a young kid to do that, you can motivate them to learn pottery.
When my first teaching job was 1969 at Colonial High School, which was then the largest high school in the state. I had to pick up kids at school and drive to UCF to use the pool out there at 5 in the morning. Get the kids back to school by 7:30, teach all day, then drive down to South Branch YMCA on Oak Ridge Road, because I was the South Branch YMCA swim coach and ran swim practice till 9:30 at night. And then I drove all the way back to Castleberry, where I'd catch a few hours sleep just to repeat all over again. Yes.
Yep.
I understand.
All right. We're going to move on to number 3. As you mentioned, the COVID pandemic. We're in 2020 right now, and 2020 in the history books will be synonymous with our COVID pandemic. It's created a lot of challenges for many businesses and residents here, and I'd like to know, if it's brought on challenges for you with your business, how you dealt with them, and is there anything that the community could do to help you?
Yeah, shop here.
I'm going to interrupt just a minute because he's right. Now, one of the things I knew about this gallery, a gallery and studio, I didn't know the full name though. So I knew it as a studio where people could take classes to learn how to create pottery and other things. But I did not know that Dell had a gallery here with there's handcrafted jewelry, pottery, there's stuffed armadillos, there are woodworking, there's leather, so stained glass. You've got to come check it out. It is amazing. I'll go ahead and let you.
We even have an avocado armadillo, so we're really hip. So where were we? Number 3?
Yeah.
Changes. Yes. I make lemonade daily. In other words, I don't dwell. The negative has no place in my life. Everything is forward. You cannot change the past. It's all water under the bridge. You never let that dark passenger in your heart. Everybody has loss. Everybody has sadness. Everybody has things that happen. But it's how you go on from there to honor that person or that activity or that pet that you lost, that job you may have lost. It's how you go forward and how you show kindness and thoughtfulness to those around you to make it a better day. You don't have to worry about a better month. Just take it one day, 1 hour at a time. This pandemic I have self-isolated for 5 months here. And it's because I feel that I have a huge responsibility to the artists who trust me with their artwork up here to sell, the community who wants to have a little bit of art in their life, to have a special, unique place to go and shop, that they know things are made locally and that it supports local economy, to have an art studio where we have the youngest student is 5, and we have, I think, a couple of 80-year-olds in the painting and drawing class. I've got a couple of 70-year-olds in the clay class. So one of them is me, but 73, yes, just last week. All right. This has caused me to rethink how we do business here and how I can offer art to the community. So the area behind me is going to be for drop-in art events. And this is how I've tried to take a negative and turn it into a positive. In other words, some people can't or don't have the time to invest in a 6-week or an 8-week class, but they maybe really have the desire to spend an hour doing some art. So we're going to start with drop-in art. We're going to start with pottery that's made here. You can come in and decorate your own cup. We'll show you how. We fire it. We return it in a couple days. Microwave safe, dishwasher safe. Happy anniversary, Mom and Dad, with a little happy heart there. Okay. But I've been able to improve the property, improve the grounds. The house was built in 1929. The grounds are historic. There's much vegetation here that is considered by the county gardener and county foresters as historic or rare or unusual native plants. And so during the period of time when things were closed, my hourly people worked on improving the grounds, improving the studio, improving everything around us, because we did know in our hearts that at some point it would reopen, and we wanted to reopen with a mission. And our mission is to do for the community.
And I have to add, it is gorgeous here. It's like a little oasis in the middle of Oviedo. You really need to come check it out. Just wander the grounds, never mind, and then slowly wander into this gallery too to check out all the good stuff. All right, so we're going to move on. Do you have any specific goals for the gallery and studio over the coming year? Any particular events you wish to tell people about? You did just mention one I was unaware of, which I think is a really great idea, because I don't know if I would commit to a course of events, but I might drop into
for an hour.
Exactly.
Well, we're going to add to it. We're going to have a teacher work with people making things out of clay. We're going to do some like mommy and me projects. We're going to get a potter's wheel up here on Saturday, and it'll be come get muddy on the wheel. We're going to have, during the holidays, we've had traditionally a small show here. But because the community has canceled all events, and the Women's Club that I love dearly has canceled Great Day in the Country, I too am going to not have our fall show, because I want to be in step with the community that I live in. But what we are going to do is we're going to have pop-up art. I even have a little schedule here, see, of the different days that we're going to have pop-up art. We'll have a tent or two out here with artists in it. We may have artists doing demos here. If the weather should cool off, I hear that we're scheduled for at least 5 or 6 cooler days this year. That's on my bingo card, cool days. We're going to have some music here. I've got several people that will come and play music in the early evening. We'll have a little bit of art. Bring your lawn chair, chill, listen to some music. So we're trying to do for the community. This is causing me to think outside the box, and I've always tried to be inclusive. My motto since I was a small child was to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. And so right now I feel the people in Oviedo, Greater Oviedo, they need something because there isn't much to do. They need a safe place to do it in. Thus, it'll be outside, it'll park your car, it'll be breezy. You can even bring your dog or your cat, I don't care. So it'll be a fun thing. And we hope that this will grow, and we hope that our goal is to offer more one-time art events, some in the studio. I've talked to gallery artists who are willing on the next year, once we get past holidays. We still get holidays there on my bingo card for December and November. They're going to come and do workshops in the studio, evening workshops or one-day workshops where it's comfortable. We can be distanced as needed. People wear masks. We do masks for everything, except for right here, and we're distant, see? So,
Can I ask how best will people learn about the schedule? Like when there are pop-up events?
our website.
Go ahead and...
Our website. Do I know what our website is? I don't know. Okay, our website is Artistic Hand Gallery and Studio. Oh, wait a minute, here it is. Artistic Hand Gallery and Studio. All small letters, all one word.com. Go to that website. It's really cool. It's got neat graphics to it, and it's updated, and there's bios on there, and there's information about the hand.
Will you also have the information on your Facebook?
Yes.
Okay, so
we'll advertise on Facebook. As I understand, Tuesday Facebook is redoing itself. I've had a sample of it. I'm not real fond of it, but we'll see.
Me either.
We'll see how it did. It is what it is. So
right.
We're going to flow with it. But yeah, we'll get the word out there, and this will be an ongoing event.
All right. So last thing, what is something Del Seaman likes to do when he's not in his studio and gallery? Now, I know you've been sequestered, but let's go outside that current situation.
I've used the last 5 months to do a lot of reading and to find out answers to a question my grandfather asked me when I was a small boy. And it has to do with the earth and the peopling of this world and North America. He was a scientist, an inventor, an archaeologist. He got his PhD from Lehigh University. He worked for Edison. He was a young man. He was FDR's science guy during World War II. And he always wondered why all the trees in Lake George and the Adirondacks were all knocked over, old growth trees, all the same direction. And he realized it must have been a huge, huge event to uproot all those trees. And he kept wondering whether it was a glacier, but it didn't have the signs of glaciation. And I found some of the answers. And so I've been on a quest, and I'm beginning to hear the sound of dots connecting. And you said you can edit things at the end, right? So I'm gonna read this to you now. You know, artists tend to be, we think outside the box, but we think about what might have been. We embrace different possibilities. And I don't know whether you've seen this little pile of books here, but anyway, I'm going to read off the jacket of Freddie Silva's book, The Missing Lands. And there's a lot of other books here. This sort of is the quest that I've been on. It has been a mystery how humans suddenly discovered civilization around 8000 BC. But ask indigenous people the world over, and they will state that 12,000 years ago, during a period called the Younger Dryas, another culture lived alongside them, described as unusually tall, fair-skinned, red-haired, or blonde. These gods, quote, quote, knew how to bend the forces of nature, enabling them to build extraordinary megalithic temples and develop a comparatively advanced civilization. After a global flood wiped out their island homelands, the remaining gods emerged at strategic locations to rebuild their former world and teach human survivors the roots of civilized society. Then they disappeared. And I found many other references, and I'm on the trail of where they disappeared to and the history of the Americas. We know that humans were in North America at least 130,000 years ago because there's evidence of a mastodon being butchered by humans at the Centauri mastodon site outside San Diego, California. And it's carbon dated at 130,000 years. So with new science and LIDAR and the DNA from the Max Planck Institute in Germany, we are on a path, we're on a trail to clear the amnesia. As one author says, we are a culture with amnesia. We do not really know the deep past. And I'm on the path to trying to find answers, if for nothing else, to satisfy my grandfather's question.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for your time today. As you can see, he is an interesting guy. I could spend all day here. So do stop by. Please support the business. Come look at the gallery, buy things, take advantage of his classes.
Advice and history are free.
Yeah,
come on in,
exactly.
Come on down. Okay, if you want to know about I talked to many of the old timers. When we first moved out here, I was 28, I was a young kid. And a lot of the old timers were really old. The one thing they like to do is tell stories. And I like to listen. So it was like they would come in on a Saturday morning. My neighbor George would come in and sit down and say, let's talk. And do you have any coffee? Because many won't let me have coffee anymore. So I'd fix George a cup of coffee, and he would tell me all the stories about his history here and the history of the town. And I already know a great deal. I've lived within 10 miles of right here since 1953. 1953.
Speaking of right here, go ahead and give the address if you can.
353 North Central Avenue, aka Alafaya Trail, aka 434. We change names going through towns to confuse people. It's one of our specialties.
Exactly.
It's okay though.
All right. Well, I want to thank our viewers for tuning in. Again, my name is Kellie Blackwell. I'm with Realtor with RedZone Realty Group. And do visit the website parkbench.com/Oviedo, spelled Oviedo. If you wish to be featured, if you're a business, please go to the website. There's a request an interview link, or you can reach out to me at 321-287-3154. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.